Today's topic is literally one of my very favorite topics to educate on. I love talking about supplements because I feel like it is one of the most confusing and challenging aspects of really getting healthy and understanding how to build back and support deficiencies in the body, and knowing if you're going to make a valiant effort to put forth your finances and your resources to use supplementation, to know that you're actually getting something that is powerful and that works. So really the whole basis of supplementation is that you've got to fuel your body with proper nutrients. And so in my opinion, supplementation comes into play whenever a deficiency has shown up in the body. Now, the way that you would be aware or know if that's happening, really the biggest indicator is if something has become chronically an issue. And so you can see in the photo to the right that every single aspect of your body needs specific nutrients to function. And so anytime there's a breakdown, we won't say anytime, let's say 90% of the time when there is a breakdown in the body, it almost always can root back to some sort of deficiency. Now, it's not going to be completely true in an acute case. Say you pull the ligament or got an injury or hurt your back doing something that physically impacted that, that's going to be a little bit different because you had a physical impact that created that injury. But if that same injury, it's been 3, 4, 5 months and it still is an issue, that's when you would absolutely look at a nutritional deficiency. Because when the body has what it needs, it's incredible. It will heal, it'll recover, and it will pull the pieces and the building blocks that it needs to create that healing response. So anytime something is more chronic or has turned into some sort of disease process or illness, that's definitely when you want to look deeper into the body and look at what deficiencies have occurred. And so the challenge now is that diet is going to play a huge part in this, but because of our quality of soil and farming, which we touched on earlier in a video, you're not always going to be able to build up those deficiencies effectively with just using diet. And that's when supplementation can come into play. Ideally, you shouldn't have to be on the same supplements all the time, unless you know that your body has a predisposition to needing that particular nutrient. But the goal is to use supplements to build up those deficiencies when there's a breakdown occurring and then help sustain it through diet. So when we're looking at supplements, there's two basic types of supplements. There's natural, food-based supplements, and then there's what's called synthetic or chemical supplements. So natural supplements are going to come from whole foods. That's going to be the basis of their origin. Synthetic supplements are going to be chemically formulated, so they're going to work more like a prescription would, where they're going to kind of trick the body into thinking those nutrients are in place, but there's no real raw materials in them to heal, recover, and support the body in creating a healing response. So how you would know this is by looking at the back label. So some synthetic indicators are going to be anytime the nutrients are written out. So when it says things like thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, B6, B12, ascorbic acid, vitamin A, all of those things, when they're specifically written out in that name, is usually going to be an indicator that it is likely synthetic. The other thing that you can look for is the daily value. If the daily value is well over 100%, that's also going to be a big indicator that it's likely synthetic. So anytime you're getting into thousands of percentages, where you can see here we've got like 8,300, 7,600, 5,800, those are going to be major red flags. Typically, you're not going to want to go too far over 100 unless there's something therapeutic happening, but where you can see all of them are over that 100 mark, that's usually not a very good sign. And then there are no food-based ingredients. So when you look at the back of this label, you've got the synthetic names, you've got the nutrient names. In the other ingredients, you've got the things that they're using to encapsulate this, but there's nothing on there that's an actual food. And so whenever you see that, that's going to be a major red flag that this is synthetic. It might make you feel good short term, but it's not going to have much of a healing impact in really recovering the body. How do we know if it's a better quality supplement or what to look for in a food-based supplement? So here we have two different supplements, one on the right and one on the left. First thing we're looking at is our synthetic component. So both of these have a level of synthetics in them. Both of them have this vitamin C component, or the nutrient name is written out. Now, that is going to be very common and almost always going to be included on a supplement because that's how the government regulates supplements. It's very rare that you're going to find something that doesn't have anything like that on it. But what we're looking at is the amount. So you can see in the supplement to the right, it has 500 milligrams and 833% of the daily value, where on the supplement to the left, it only has 17 milligrams and 25% of the daily value. So as soon as we start looking at this label, we recognize really quickly that the one on the right is going to have more of a synthetic or an artificial nutrient compound than the one on the left. But the next thing, which is the most important thing you want to look for when picking a supplement, is what's called a proprietary blend. Proprietary blend is like a code word for that it actually has food in it. But it still can get a little tricky because both of these have a proprietary blend, so naturally you're going to go, great, they both have foods in them, we're good to go. But the one on the right only has 13 milligrams compared to the 500 milligrams of chemical compound above, where the one on the left has the opposite. It has 595 milligrams of food-based nutrition compared to the 17 milligrams on the left for the synthetic component. So what we see here is the one on the left is a far better source of nutrition and healing if you're trying to get true vitamin C into the body compared to the one on the right. And you can see in the visual picture above, when you're comparing a synthetic or chemical form to the natural form, it's just they're two completely different animals. So whenever we're looking for a supplement, this is the main thing you want to keep an eye on, is that you do not want to spend your money on synthetic supplements, and you really want to look for a quality proprietary blend. This still gets a little bit tricky because anytime you find one that's at least food-based, you're going to be better off no matter how you spin it. So absolutely, if it has foods in it and the proprietary blend's higher than the synthetics, that's going to be a decent product. But the other thing you run up against in America is that they don't regulate supplements. And so even though it's food-based, a lot of products outsource a lot of their foods, and so you don't really know what the quality is. So when we're talking about supplements, proprietary blend is key, but my passion, my favorite company, hands down, is Standard Process. The reason I love them so much is because they're whole food supplement. Majority of their product comes off of their own organic farm, and this is huge because I don't know of another company that this is the case, where most of their product is coming straight from their own organic farm, which is incredible. And then they have their own processing plant as well. Because I'm a total nerd about this stuff, Standard Process, after trying many other products, was the only product line that I was able to find that actually created a healing response for myself and my family. I've actually been out to their farm, which is in Palmyra, Wisconsin, and it's so incredible. Like, after going to their farm, I was absolutely sold on the value and the incredible impact that their products can have. And when you're there, it's so cool because you get to go from the farm, you get to watch them harvest the food, and then you get to follow them in a bus down to their processing plant and watch it be processed right then and there. And it just becomes super obvious in that moment why they have such a huge impact and why they're such incredible products, because they're literally going straight from the soil into the supplement, and it creates incredible benefits. One of the other things that I just love about this company is it's built around a philosophy rather than a company. So the founder of Standard Process, his name was Royal Lee, and he was an absolute genius. One of my superheroes, for sure. He was crazy intelligent, was an inventor, had several dozen patents, was an amazing man, and he took all of the money that he made from those patents and put them all into his passion, which was Standard Process and that company, of really helping people understand the way that they were adulterating our food and changing our food and the way that it was killing us. It's a really unique experience when working with this supplement company because every product he created was coming from all of the science and all of this evidence that he was finding on how to truly help and heal people rather than just trying to create a supplement or a product line. So really cool. And the last thing is that it's family owned. So they've been around for about 90 years. Royal Lee is no longer around anymore, but it still runs in the family. So you're continuing to have those values passed down, which I think is really unique and really powerful in a company in general, but especially something as controversial as supplements when there is so many loopholes, I guess, in finding a quality supplement. When I was looking to create this presentation, I found this really awesome video to give you your own experience of how awesome Standard Process is and just help you see what true farming and quality ideally should feel like.
This is really a fun and exciting time that we live in right now. People are starting to focus a little bit more on the importance of organics, the importance of whole foods, and we've been doing this for over 90 years.
We've essentially always organically farmed. We couldn't call it organic until the USDA came up with the definitions for the term, but we became organically certified as soon as you could. That's important to us because we wanted to amend our soils and treat our farm the best we could in natural ways, and it reflects in the quality of our products.
Organic farming is very similar to alternative health care in that we can't be prescriptive and we have to be preventative. Organic crops have no herbicide that can rescue them. They have no fungicide for disease. We have to have a healthy start before the seed's even in the ground.
We have high quality soil because we've taken care of it. We've put compost back on. We've fed it organic nutrients. We're creating this nutrient cycling that really helps keep our plants healthy long term.
I think one of the things that's exciting about the farm right now is that the Innovation Center is putting science behind things we've always done. It thrives on diversity of crop, diversity of rotation, diversity in the soil living system itself.
Christine spends a great deal of time doing outreach and bringing other farmers on our farm to show you can farm organically and get high yields. So it's not just a lesson for us. We're hoping to share what we've learned with the community.
I've been to the farm many times, and it's very obvious that their mission is to, make things better for other people as well.
We have a lot of people come through here, thousands of people a year to come through tours. You hear stories all the time of how lives were changed from the products they're taking here at Standard Process.
From growing our crops, extracting the nutrients out of those whole foods, all the way through our processing. Every day, our employees work hard and put out these amazing products, all so that we can change just one more life.
How awesome is that? It makes my eyes water legitimately because it's so true, and I personally felt the impact of what true food nutrition and seeing that in a product like that can do, and it is life-changing for me and my family. Close today's presentation with a quote from Royal Lee himself, that it is the choice of foods by each individual person today that will determine to a large extent their physical condition tomorrow. And I just love that and want to second that our bodies are incredible. And when we feed them the things that they need, they respond in miraculous ways. It's not always necessary that you need to supplement, but when supplementing, you always want to make sure that it's got those food-based nutrients in it that are really going to heal, recover, and support the system. And that it's so important to me that people feel empowered and know what to look for, in seeking and looking at the ingredients, what to look for in recognizing synthetics, and what to look for when recognizing a proprietary blend and those whole foods. Your homework today, if you have any supplements in the house, turn over those labels, see if it's synthetic versus whole food, and start gearing towards whole foods moving forward. Thank you for watching, and look forward to seeing you again soon.